Hello and welcome to the Theory of Evolution revision video from scienceworksheets.co.uk. Please like, subscribe and comment to support the channel. Evolution is the change in inherited characteristics of a population over time. It occurs by a process called natural selection. Evolution is supported by evidence such as fossils. The theory was developed over time with many scientists contributing to the theory. Charles Darwin was a scientist who developed the theory of evolution. He travelled around the world on HMS Beagle, making observations of plants, animals and fossils. He spent many years collecting evidence before publishing his ideas. In 1859 he published a book on the origin of species. His ideas caused controversy at the time. Charles Darwin developed the theory of evolution by natural selection after years of experimentation and discussion with other scientists. His ideas were also supported by evidence from fossils and a developing knowledge of geology, which is the study of rocks and the Earth's history. Variation. Individuals in a species show variation. This means they are not identical. They have different characteristics, e.g. size, colour, speed. In the image, we can see variation in the coat colour of rabbits. Natural selection. Individuals within a population show variation. Variation can be due to a mutation. Some characteristics give an advantage, which means that the individual is more likely to survive and reproduce. They pass on the allele for these advantageous characteristics to their offspring. Over time, the species evolves and more individuals within the population will have the favourable characteristic. When the term survival of the fittest is used, it is referring to the individuals with the advantageous characteristic. Peppered moths example. There are two peppered moths, a light form and a dark form. Originally, tree bark was light coloured, so the light moths were camouflaged. Dark moths were easily seen by predators such as birds. The light moths were more likely to survive and reproduce until the Industrial Revolution occurred. During industrialization, pollution covered trees in dark soot. Dark moths became camouflaged. Light moths were easily seen and eaten. Dark moths were more likely then to survive and reproduce, passing on the allele for the dark colour, and over time the population gradually changed, so that there were more dark moths and fewer light moths. Inheritance. Characteristics are passed on through genes or alleles from parents to offspring. Darwin did not know how this worked, because the mechanism of inheritance was discovered later, about 50 years after the theory of evolution. Why Darwin's theory was not accepted. Darwin's theory was not accepted at first because it challenged religious beliefs, the idea that God created all life. There was not enough evidence at the time. Scientists did not understand inheritance or the mechanism for how genes are passed on at the time. The mechanism for genetics was discovered about 50 years after the theory of evolution was published. Other theories. Lamarck. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was a French biologist that suggested characteristics gained during life are inherited. So, for example, giraffes stretching their necks to reach food from high trees, which made their necks longer. This enhanced characteristic was then passed on to their offspring, who would also have long necks. We now know this is incorrect in most cases, although the idea works for some cases. There are many cases where it does not work. Thank you for watching. See our revision notes, the link is in the description.